Hello guys, thanks for joining this session. In this session, we are going to look into group by functionality within pandas. So let's jump into the Jupyter notebook to understand this topic. So we are into the Jupyter notebook. Now we will look into the topics. What are the topics which we are going to cover over here? So first we will look into how to create group object within pandas. Once we understand that, then we will move to the task number 2, where we will look into some of the common operations which we generally perform on group by objects. Once we understand that, then we will look into how to iterate the groups. Once we understand the iteration of groups, we will proceed further and we will look into how to get information about a specific group. Once we understand that, then we will proceed further and we will look into the topic number 5, that is getting detailed view of the groups. Once we understand that, then we will look into a way by which you can identify all the functions which is being associated with the group by object. Once you understand that, then we will proceed further and we will discuss about how to get the length of a particular group. And at last, we will also look into multi-indexing in group object. So let's start our exercise. So first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to import the pandas and then we will create the data frame using read_CSV method. And in this exercise also, I am going to use wine dataset. So let's do it. First, select the cell, press B, and then you need to specify import pandas as PD. Shift enter, which is getting loaded. You see here a star mark. Once it is being done, then you will get it over here 1. So we get 1 over here instead of a star. A star means the program is still running. So now you can press B again. And this time I am going to create a data frame equal to pd.read_CSV. So we should write CSV over here. And then you need to specify data, and I'm going to use wine.csv. So within our current working folder, we are having a subfolder called data, and within that this wine.csv file is residing. So press df also, so that we will look into the data and we will understand that what kind of data we are having over here. So shift enter. So we are having variety of wine with different quality and which is being ranked on the basis of these features. So these column is containing the information about what is the percentage of alcohol available, what is the malic acid, and all these feature is actually deciding what kind of or what is the quality of this wine is. So now what we will do, we will group the data set as per the wine quality, and then we will learn whatever we have discussed earlier. So all these topics we are going to perform on the wine column. That means we will group this data set on wine column. So let's perform our first exercise. Come here and select this cell, press B, and to create a group object on wine, you need to follow this syntax. So I will give it a name, df_wine equal to, and here I need to specify df.GroupBy, and within that a square bracket and the name of the column, and I am having wine, that is the name of the column. And over here you need to specify df_wine. Let's look into the output. So here you will find that it has returned this object. That means this object, group by object, is being created, and that is represented as pandas.core.groupby.generic.dataframe group by object. So now let's proceed further and we will perform some frequently used group by operations in the second task. So select the cell, press B over here, and now we will start with the first operation, that is called df_wine dot first. So this will return the first entry from the each group. So let's do it. Shift enter. Then you will find that it has returned us the first entry from each group, and we are having 3 quality of wine, that is 1, 2, 3, and these are the first entry from each of the categories. Same way you can perform another operation, that is the last operation. So if you write df wine dot last, it will return the last entry from each group. Shift enter, and see here it has returned us the last entry from each of the group. Now let's perform some other operation. Now suppose if you want to identify highest alcohol quantity from each of the group, so how you will do that? So for that you need to select this one, press B, and this time you need to select the specific column which you want to get the maximum value. So over here I want the alcohol quantity, which one is having the highest alcohol quantity from each of the group. I need to specify that, and then I will specify max method, shift enter, and you will see that it has returned that from each of the group it has returned us the highest percentage of the alcohol. Same way, if you want to check that which alcohol or say which wine is having minimum quantity, so you can check it. First press B over here, and the same operation you are going to apply, but this time you need to specify the min operation. Shift enter, and see here these are the entries which contains minimum alcohol percentage in the wine. Same way you can calculate the average percentage of alcohol within the wine group. So you can select this one, press B, and this time you can use the same thing, but this time here you will specify mean over here. Now shift enter. So this will return us the average value of, or say average value from each of the wine category. So this is about the simple operation, but under the hood how it is working, we need to understand that. So let's jump into a diagram and let's look into how all these things happening internally. So let's jump into a diagram. So internally, how does it work? Let's understand with an example. To make it simple, I have kept it very simple example where we are having 4 different columns, and this time I'm having only 2 groups. One is the fruit, another one is the vegetable. So first we will get the input which is being read from the CSV file. Then afterwards what is happening when we are trying to create the group by object, so it basically split these data into multiple groups as per the given criteria. For example, if I have given that pd.read CSV and read this input file, afterwards I have created a data frame df equal to and then df dot group by, and within that I specified I want to grouping on type column. So it will return us 2 groups. One is for fruit, another one is for vegetable. And then we told that we want the total value for fruit group as well as the vegetable group. Then it has returned the result after applying the operations onto the group data. And this is what we did over here. Over here, what we told that please return us the average value, that is mean, for alcohol groups. And that's the reason it has returned us 3 values to their respective groups. For wine quality 1, it has returned 13.7. For wine quality 2, it has returned us 12.2. And for wine quality 3, it has returned us 13.15. That was our wine example. Over here I have given with the simple example with fruit ball example. And then once it is being applied, then what it did had combined with the data set. This combine operation we will look into some other session. For a time being, just you consider it. Group by operation is nothing but getting the input, splitting the data, and then applying some function or say some mathematics on the group data. In this case, it is doing the summation of all the price value, and this is the addition of all the prices of fruits and vegetables. And at last what it is doing, it has merged with the original data frame, and later these value is going to be used to identify how much percentage of expense we have done for each individual fruits. That exercise we will do in some other session when we learn about transformation within pandas, as it is one of the complicated topics. So I have kept it separate session for that, where you will get more information. So now let's proceed further. So now we will look into how we can iterate the group. So let's select this cell and press B. But first of all, we have to understand that how many number of groups available. How do you check? So you need to specify the name df underscore wine dot groups. Shift enter, and then it has returned us these values. And what we found that it is a dictionary, and we are having this group 1. Group 1 is one of the key. Then we have group 2, and then we have group 3. So with the help of this, we identified that we have total number of 3 groups. Now I want to iterate this groups. So how we can do that? So let's look into that. So to iterate it, select B, and this time I'm going to write it for, and over here you need to specify the wine, comma, and here we need to specify wine df, so that it will contain the columns which is being returned in df underscore wine. And here we will also print wine when it is looping, as well as the columns which we will get in this data frame wine underscore df. Now do shift enter, and you will find that quality 1 wine, it has returned these information. Same way, if we will look into quality 2, it has returned these information. Same way, it has returned the information about quality 3, and this contains these number of information. So this way you can iterate each of the groups which exist within this group by object, that is over here df underscore wine. So now let's proceed further and look into some other exercise. Now the another task, suppose that if you want to grab the information about particular group, then how you can do that? So you will do it like this. You can press B over here, and the group object which we have created, df wine dot get group, make sure that you are specifying underscore over here, and within that I am going to specify 1 over here, and you will see it over here, it has returned the group 1 information. That means the wine quality of 1 and all these information from that particular group. So you will see it over here, it has returned us 58 records which falls into wine quality 1 group. So this way you can grab the information from a specific group. So now let's proceed further. So we are going to look into another task, that is getting detailed view of groups. So how we can get it? So if you remember, we have seen describe method in one of our sessions. So we can apply the describe method in the group object as well. So let's look into that. Press B over here, and here you need to specify df underscore wine and then describe, and it, so now you will see it over here, it has returned a very good information from each of the groups. So here you will see that how many number of items contained for group 1, it is 59, for group 2 it is 71, and for group 3 it is 48, and that is for alcohol column. And you will closely look into that. For each of the column, it has returned the mean, max and the percentage information for each of the columns, and that is for each respective groups. So now let's proceed further and we will look into what are the methods available for group object. So you can check it by using dir function. So let's look into that. Press B over here, and here you need to specify dir, and the name of the group object over here is df wine. Shift enter, and you will see it over here, it has returned all the method which is being available for this particular group object. So you can use any one of them or all of them, whichever you want as per your need. So now let's proceed further. Now we will look into how to check the length of particular group. So you can do it by this way. Press B over here, and here you need to specify length, and within that you can specify df underscore wine dot get underscore group, and here you specify which group length you want to check. You can press 1 over there, and it has returned the length. So how many number of entries it contains. But suppose if you want to check how many number of groups exist, so you can check it like this way. Press B over here, and directly you can specify length and specify df underscore wine. Shift enter, then it will return the length of, or say how many number of groups exist within this group object. So now let's proceed further and we will look into how to create multi-index group object. And to understand this topic, we need to use other dataset, because this dataset doesn't contain multiple categorical variable. So categorical variable means the type of data which may be divided into groups. For the current example, we are having a single data that is called wine, which we can use to divide it in a group, as it is a categorical variable. So to use the multi-index, we need a data which have multiple categorical variables, so that we can create multi-index grouping. So let me create a data frame with another data set. So here I will press B, and then I will create a data frame called df fruit ball, and here I am going to use pd dot read underscore csv, and I will call it data, and we are having fruit ball dot csv, and then we will write dffb. Shift enter. So let's look into that. So here you will see that we have two type of categorical variable over here on which we can apply grouping. First one is the type, another one is the in stock. So let's now create the multi-index grouping on this data. So here I will tell that df multi-index equal to, then you need to specify over here dffb, that is our data frame, and over here you need to specify set underscore index, and within that you need to specify your list, and this list contains the name of the categorical column. First I will use type, and then I will use in stock column. So you will see it over here, we have type and in stock column, that is a categorical variable. On the basis of these column I can do the grouping, and then over here we will specify df underscore mi. Shift enter, and you will see that it has created a multi-index grouping. So you will see it over here, fruits, then we have in stock, and within that it is specifying that which of the fruit is available or which of the fruit is not available within the stock. Same is the case with the vegetables, and this is what I wanted to demonstrate you in this session. So see you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.